It's spring 2024, and in this time of the year, seems like my favorite fragrances in my collection seem to shine. So in this video, I'll be discussing my top 10 fragrances that I'll be wearing in this year, spring 2024. Let's jump right into it.
Coach Rob 619. Coach Rob 619.
So if you've been following me for any amount of time, you probably realize that I really enjoy citrus, aquatics, fresh blue type of fragrances. Pretty much wear those all year. Being here in San Diego, California, that's the climate that I have. So I'm wearing those type of fragrances all year long. But for this spring of 2024, I have 10 that I've really been gravitating towards. About to share that with you right now. So let's jump into number 10. So coming in at number 10 of my top 10 in 2024 springtime fragrances is a fragrance I was kind of reluctant of wearing when I first purchased it because of the name. It kind of had me, I didn't want to wear this fragrance and smell like what it suggested is in it, and that's Hindu Kush. Now, with this name, you would assume that it smells like, a strong marijuana type of vibe. I mean, it has cannabis in the notes, in the breakdown, but really, after wearing this a couple of times, I didn't want to wear it to the office. I didn't want to wear it around, family or whatever, because I didn't want people thinking was out smoking some weed before, I encountered them or whatever. But what I noticed from this fragrance is not really a strong marijuana vibe. I think I do kind of pick up something that may smell like marijuana, but to me, it smells like what I would imagine the actual plant, the leaf smells like. But I think what I'm really getting to my nose, I get a sweet, incense vibe with a real patchouli dominant note. I think to my nose, this is patchouli. To somebody else's nose, they may pick up marijuana, they may pick up a cannabis note, but to me, this is a great fragrance, nice, sweet, fresh. Like I said, patchouli, kind of earthy fragrance, and people around me seem to enjoy it. And this has beastie performance. When I first purchased this fragrance, I sprayed 2 sprays here in this office, and the next day, when I came back into my office, my whole office still smells like this fragrance is Hindu Kush. So this is a great performer. So if you're looking for something that's beastly, that's going to last you all day, I'm getting at least 12 to 14 hours. This is definitely the best performer on this list. And I just think anything with Mancera, I don't think I found a Mancera fragrance that doesn't perform and project or last all day. If you guys know any, you can leave it in the comments. But just like most Mancera fragrances, this Hindu Kush performs like a beast, and it actually smells much different than you would imagine it. So if you haven't tried this one, get a sample and look into this. But this is my number 10 on my spring 2024 list. Now coming in at number 9 on my list, this is one from one of my favorite houses, if not my favorite house, and that's Xerjoff Fierro. And this is a more mature scent. This is a mature citrus dominated scent. And in the opening, you're going to get lemon, bergamot. You're going to get lemongrass. Throughout the life of this fragrance, some mint will develop, a nice sandalwood. And this is just a nice upscale citrus scent. Definitely safe for the office. Something I throw on when I get dressed up if I'm wearing a suit somewhere in the daytime. A wedding scent. I love putting on Fierro. And what the vibe of this fragrance, this is like an upscale aftershave. So that's the one thing I would probably compare this to. When most people smell this, that's the first thing you'll probably think about is like a citrus aftershave. But this is definitely great, mature, great projection. Definitely looking to this one for spring of 2024. Now coming in at number 8, this is how it's pretty much a lot of people don't talk about. And this fragrance is called Riviera Drive. Beautiful bottle. Now this fragrance, similar to Fierro that I just spoke about, this is definitely citrus dominated, but this is a blast of lemons. You're going to get a strong lemon vibe in the opening. It's pretty much linear. That's pretty much what you're going to get throughout the fragrance. You're going to get a little bit of floral aspects to it, but this is like cutting lemons up, making some fresh lemonade. It's real zesty, lemon dominated scent. Smells real good. Reminds me of Sprite lemonade. That scent you get from that, they pretty much captured that in the bottle. This zesty lemon lime kind of vibe. The only downside to this fragrance is you're going to get weak performance, weak longevity. You definitely have to reapply this fragrance throughout the day, or you got to go with like 10 to 12 sprays to make this thing last. Usually I'm going 5 to 6 on most of my fragrances, but definitely with this one, you got to go easily 10, 12 sprays. You can't overspray with this one. So if you want to smell great, you want to smell a little bit, unique or a real citrus dominated fragrance, this does smell wonderful, but you got to apply a lot. Now coming in at number 7 on this list, this could have absolutely been much higher on this list because this is definitely a stunning fragrance. And this is a new house that I've been exploring. So I think this was the very first fragrance I bought from this house. That's Boudicca, and this is called Imperial. Now, this fragrance, what I get to my nose is dominated by lavender, rose, and oud. And that combination makes an amazing smell. This is probably the most unique fragrance on my list, and this is the one that I get a lot of people asking me what I have on. With that combination of the rose and the lavender. And if you don't really like oud like me, I'm not an oud lover. So when I wear a fragrance with oud, it has to be like a supporting note. It can't be a real dominant note, or it can't be barnyard oud or anything that smells kind of skanky. It has to be something that's smooth. And that's what the oud does in this fragrance. It gives the lavender and the rose, it gives it a nice depth and body. And that combination just smells amazing. So if anyone, I recommend everything on this list, but this one, I mean, these are expensive fragrances, so you definitely want to try to get a sample if you can. But for the spring, this definitely shines. Boudicca, the Victorious Imperial. Look into this one. This one is great. And nobody else is going to smell like you, guaranteed. Check this one out. Now, coming in at number 6 on my spring 2024 list is another fragrance house that I would love to dig a little bit deeper in. This has been my first experience with this house, the only one I smelled so far, and I hear they make a ton of good fragrances. And this is from the house of Argos, and this is Adonis Awakens. And this is definitely a great fragrance for the spring. My first encounter, when I first smelled this, I thought this was way too feminine for my nose, and I think it's the notes that's in this fragrance. In the opening, it smells like a fresh bouquet of flowers. You're going to get like jasmine, you're going to get some raspberry, vanilla, and a lot of just floral rose, a lot of floral aspects with that sweet fruitiness, and then that sweetness from the vanilla and raspberries. That just comes off extremely feminine to me, to my nose, in the first 30 minutes. But once that tones down, a woody base develops, some sandalwood, and that blends pretty well, it becomes more unisex. It's still slightly leaning feminine in my opinion, but it becomes a real fresh, nice fragrance for the spring. This one seems to be a fragrance women really do like smelling on men, or at least like smelling on me. This is definitely a good one. But like I said, guys, if you guys go try this, give it about 30 minutes, because some of you, if you're anything like me, may think it's a little bit too feminine. But let that phase pass, because once that pass and that woody base pops up, it becomes a great fragrance, perfect for the spring, perfect for warm weather. So check this one out, Adonis Awakens. Now, coming in at number 5, this is absolutely spring in a bottle. You can't have a spring list without having this on your list. And this could have been higher. This is my number 1 on this list, is pretty much the go-to spring fragrances. And that's Creed's Green Eyes Tweed. We all know about this one. It's a spring kind of grassy vibe. Great fragrance, beautiful violet leaf note in it. And like I said, man, it's nothing that you can wear that's going to smell more like spring than this one, except my number 1, so stay tuned for that. But Green Eyes Tweed, I think we all know what this smells like. A lot of people compare it to Cool Water, so if you smell Cool Water, you pretty much smell what this smells like. This is just a way better version of Cool Water, but get you some Green Eyes Tweed in your life if you don't already have it. Now, coming in at number 4 on my list, this one is pretty hyped up in the community, so I had to just blind buy it. I couldn't find a sample of it anywhere, so I just bit the bullet, did a blind buy, and I have not been disappointed. This is right up my alley, and that's Bvlgari Tygar. Now, if you haven't heard about this one, this is a hyped up fragrance. Great citrus fragrance. What you pretty much get with this one is pretty linear. You're going to get grapefruit and you're going to get ginger, done extremely well. There's not too much more to it than that. It doesn't project the best, but it lasts pretty good on my skin. Decent longevity, smells amazing. I just wish it would project more. A lot of people compare this to Louis Vuitton Imagination, and I don't really get that comparison. Well, they kind of do smell similar, but Imagination pops off my skin. Great projection. I actually got to add that to my collection, but I'm happy with this purchase. If you love ginger, you love citrus, grapefruit type of fragrances, this is definitely a great one to wear for the spring, including the summer. But I've been wearing this a lot, man. I really enjoy this one. Bvlgari Tygar, Spring 2024. Check this one out. Now, coming in at number 3, this is a newly added fragrance to my collection. And this also kind of gets compared to my number 4, which was Bvlgari Tygar, because they both share a ginger and a grapefruit opening. And that's Louis Vuitton's Luminise. And to me, I don't get the comparison, because this one to me is way more complex than Tygar's. More added to it. It's the ginger, it's the grapefruit, but it has an aquatic vibe. And this reminds me of something else. I can't put my nose on it, but this is just easy to wear. Great fragrance. Ton of compliments come with this one. If you're looking for something that's just well-rounded, you can wear all through spring. I could probably wear this one all year, actually, but I'm wearing it now through spring. Look into this one. Great fragrance. Luminise by Louis Vuitton. Now, coming in at number 2, another new addition to my collection. I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but I believe this is the latest to my collection. Either this or Xerjo's Richwood, but are the latest fragrances to my collection. And I absolutely love this one. And this is BDK's Gris Charnel or Gris Charnel. I don't really know how you pronounce it, but man, this one smells good. This is a woody scent with some sweetness to it, fruitiness. It has some spiciness to it. It reminds me of like a black tea. It has this calming effect, and it just smells amazing, man. Haven't received any compliments with this one, but I personally enjoy it. I had to blind buy it, another successful blind buy, because I couldn't find it anywhere to get a, to get a sample of it or just get a, smell from it. But I'm glad I pulled the trigger, blind bought it, and I enjoy it. So this one's gonna be in heavy rotation this spring. But check this one out. This was definitely hyped up. This in the extract version. So look into a sample of those if you guys are interested in this one. But this is a great fragrance in my opinion. Check this one out. Now coming in at number 1. Like I said earlier in the video, this is Spring in the Bottle. This is one of my favorite fragrances in my collection. I think I got a review of this fragrance I did back in like 2012. That's how long this fragrance has been in my collection. And it's no other than Bond number 9, Bleecker Street. Now, Bleecker Street is an amazing fragrance. This is one of my earlier niche fragrances in my collection. And I absolutely love it. I feel the same way about it today as I did like 10 years, 12 years ago. And this is your green, woody, oak moss fragrance, fruitiness from the blueberries. Absolutely amazing. Great longevity, great performance, great projection, compliment magnet. Everything you want in a fragrance, you get right here in Bleecker Street. And when it comes to the springtime, nothing shines like this one. Check this one out if you haven't already have. Get you a sample of it. Go to Neiman Marcus or something like that. Smell it. This stuff is absolutely amazing. But this is my number 1 fragrance, spring 2024. Bond number 9, Bleecker Street. Check this one out if you haven't. Until the next time, guys. Peace.